I don't really have a lot of answers to things. I just am curious about things. When was the universe created? And where was it created? Those questions actually don't really make any sense if you think about it. They don't really make a lot of sense because we can only talk about things so many years ago. 14 billion years ago. Or however, whatever the number is. I had to look it up in a science book. But that's like, 14 billion years ago. From using this point going backwards. Yeah, but, at the moment it was created, when was that? I mean, what time was it? Was it like 8:30 in the morning? I remember there was some person, I don't even remember this thing in a book, but some person came up with this ideal that the universe was created at 8:15 in the morning on a Tuesday. And I thought it was like some person had actually calculated that. So I thought that was kind of a funny thought in my mind. The universe was created on Tuesday at 8:15 in the morning. God was on his way to work. He was running late. He said, oh man, I got to create a universe. Oh, and he did sipping the last sip of coffee. Okay, let me get down to that. Boom, universe. Okay, let me go. Let me go before my boss jump all over me. I thought that was rather a funny thought. It was just some religious person from way back in the old days, several hundred years ago, had sort of figured this out. And I thought that was so not scientific, but funny too. The thought that if you could pinpoint the exact moment, You see, here's the thing. Reference points. Reference points. Something that Einstein talked about. Points of reference. See, I don't really have answers to things. It's just thoughts because of things I'm reading about. When we think about things being in motion, one of the things that Einstein said was that we're used to thinking about the ground as a point of reference all the time. We're driving a car, we're moving forward. Or we're walking, we're moving forward. But if you were like in a place with no ground and objects were moving around, am I moving toward the object? Let's say the distance is getting shorter and shorter. Am I moving toward the object? Is the object moving toward me? You could look at it either way. You really could. And it wouldn't be illogical to think of it as the object is moving toward me or I'm moving toward the object. Because when you think about reference points, it's just that we have a customary way of looking at things. And we have to, I guess when you make progress in science, you have to kind of break with the customary way. Because that becomes habit. It's a habit of thinking of something. We get into habits of framing things a certain way. Habits of looking at things a certain way. When something is created, it's created in a certain time, at a certain moment, in a certain place. But time and space really are just mental constructs. They're not things that are really out there by themselves. It's just the way our minds organize reality. We organize reality by creating something called time and space. As one philosopher once said, you cannot separate time, and he didn't say space, but he said time. So, and as Einstein said, you can't separate time and space from each other when you're thinking about them. But so I'm going to, with my own little emphasis on it, you can't separate time and space from the mind that perceives it. Those things are connected together. Just a thought. This is not one of my deep philosophical moments. It's just me thinking something, that's all. There's no answer to anything. It's just a thought.